first time I got here, I came to this very beautiful Ethiopian restaurant, and I think it's really beautiful to see Africans thriving in other parts of the world. So today I want to go and have a conversation with the owner of this restaurant so that he can tell us his journey. Come with me and let's meet Dawit. Hello.
Welcome to Addis Ethiopian restaurant.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great. So meet Dawit. This is the founder or the owner of this restaurant, and I just want to have a small conversation with you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can sit out here because of the time. It's not so bright in there.
Okay.
So you can start by introducing yourself.
Okay, my name is Dawit. My English name is David, and I'm from Ethiopia. I'm 27 years old, and I moved to Cambodia 3 years ago. I just came just before COVID, and after I stayed for 2 years and a half, I decided to open a business. That's why I opened this business, and so far it's really going great, and I'm happy to be here.
So did you just decide to move from Ethiopia to Cambodia? Like, how did you end up in Cambodia? Were you traveling, you got here, you got stuck during COVID, or what happened?
So what happened was I was actually studying my master's in China, so I wanted to take a break before I started my master's, so I came here for a holiday. So I came on December 2019, just before COVID, so I stayed here for almost 2 months. Then when I decided to go back to China, I couldn't go back because of the COVID situations going on. Then the embassy told me to wait for 2-3 months. I kept on waiting, but COVID just kept on going worse and worse. So I moved to Siem Reap, and I lived there for almost a year and a half. Then I gave up on returning back to China and finishing my master's. So I just moved to Phnom Penh, started working at the restaurant. Then finally I decided to open my own business. Then here we are.
Were you working at an Ethiopian restaurant or?
No, I was working in an Irish restaurant. So I was mostly running the place. We're doing like pies, wings, and burgers and pizzas. That's what we were doing. Then the business was not going good, so we decided to close that place also. Then by that time, I decided to open my own thing, and this is why we have this restaurant now here in Cambodia.
How's been the experience first? How was it for you as a foreigner to open business, getting the space and all that? Like, what challenges did you face?
So when you're an African in Asia, it's a lot of hassle to open up a business. So you have to pay money under the table. You have to pay more than the white people and stuff. But I have no complaints. Like, at least I managed to open a business. Like, other countries, they won't even allow you to have a business with such a small capital. And I'm happy like the government gives you much opportunities when it comes to like opening up a business, setting up a business here. The government really supports you, and I'm happy. It's kind of okay.
What do you think, or what would you advise other people, maybe coming from different continents, when they come into Cambodia to set up business? Like, what advice, what do you think is that advice that has kept you going, like, you know?
Just what I can say is have something different. Like, Cambodia is full of restaurants, different bars, just different type of clothings. You can find anything you want in Cambodia, but what I can tell you, like someone who wants to come to Cambodia and do a business, you have to have a different type of business, like a new idea. Like, if someone comes and opens another Ethiopian restaurant, the success for him, it might be very low because there's not much of Ethiopian community here. It's only a few communities, so maybe that might not work, but everybody can come and try to do something. Just have a different type of ideas.
What business do you think, if someone has resources and finances and they want to come set up business here, which industry do you think there's a great opportunity? Where do you see the gap?
I can say mostly investments in real estate and stuff, because right now the country is really growing really fast. So the more people put money on this investments, on condos and apartments, I feel like after a few years, maybe 5 years, people can get double or triple amount of the money that they have put in. So I think investment is good. Besides that, I think hotels, guest house, such things like this might work because it's a really touristic country, so such things can really work.
Do you plan on opening this Ethiopian restaurant in other parts of this city or in other parts of this country or other parts of Southeast Asia?
Maybe Southeast Asia, yeah, but to open up here in Cambodia, like, I very doubt it because, as I told you, there's not much of Ethiopian community here, so the people that come here and try are people like tourists and stuff, so they come and try once, they're not gonna come back again because they have to travel somewhere else. So opening up another restaurant in some other city, I don't think so, but in Southeast Asia, of course I'm gonna do it.
Who are most of your clients? So now that you rely on tourists day in, day out, or like, what makes it stand? Do you offer anything beyond Ethiopian food?
No, I don't offer anything different, but as we all know now, most people are turning into vegans or vegetarians, so Ethiopian dishes has so many vegan options. So I'm trying to target mostly like the vegan customers that are out there. So, and to be honest, like, that's what I'm selling the most as well. Like, I'm selling mostly vegan items more than the meat.
So take us through a little bit the business registration process and how much approximately, like a rough estimate, because I know the experience will be different for different people. How much do you think it might cost?
So for setting up a business, it depends. Firstly, it depends on what kind of business you're doing. If you're doing a small business, then it will cost you less. But if you're doing a big business, like for example hotels and guest house or big restaurants, like, it's gonna cost you much. So I'm gonna just tell you roughly. So for a small business under 10 tables, it's gonna cost you around $1,300, including the agent fees and everything.
$1,300.
$1,300. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And for a big business, like for a medium, above 10 tables, that's gonna cost you around, let's say $2,000, including the agent fees, the Ministry of Commerce license, the business license for the tax patents. It costs up to like $2,000.
When you open the business first, who are your clients? Like when you opened it, let's say you've set up everything, you are now ready to go. Who are your clients? Did you do like invite some Ethiopians, or what's the approximate number of Ethiopians in this country?
So as I told you earlier, like, I'm not really focusing on Ethiopians as we don't have much Ethiopian community here, but we do have a few Ethiopians here. So on my opening day of this business, I can say I've seen almost more than 15 Ethiopians that live in other cities as well. So they all came for the opening, and yeah, that's it. And mostly, as I said, my customers are mostly the vegan people, so Americans, UK people, and South Africans as well.
Are there a lot of South Africans here?
Yeah, there's a huge community of South Africans because of the English teaching jobs that they have here, because South Africa is among the native speakers right now, so they can get jobs in most Asian countries. So there is a huge community of South Africans, so those are my biggest customers as well.
I know actually you've met a lot of Africans in this country. So you say what job are most Africans doing? Teaching jobs?
I can say, yeah, mostly it's South Africans that are here, so they're doing teaching jobs. And I know a few Nigerians as well, which are doing some clothing businesses. Besides that, I know a few other Africans, but they're working in the UN or WHO, or maybe the American embassy as well, or the French embassy as well. And that's it.
Have you met Kenyans so far?
Maybe I've met one Kenyan.
Me?
No, you're the second Kenyan. You're the second Kenyan. The first Kenyan I met was, she works in UN. She's a friend with one of our Ethiopian friend. They also work together. That's it.
Okay, so what's the plan? What's the future of this business? Where do you see yourself 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now?
So let me just say 3 years. In 3 years, I see myself expanding in Southeast Asia and making this place much bigger. I guess I'm gonna have hostel upstairs. That's the plan. So I'm gonna change the upstairs. Like I have 2 floors upstairs.
Wait, you have 2 floors?
Yeah. So I rented the whole building.
Oh, you rented the whole building?
Yeah. So I have 2 floors. So I'm thinking to change those 2 floors to dormitory. So maybe in 3 years that's gonna happen, and I'll still be here.
Wow, how many floors is this building?
Just including the ground, it's 3. So
3.
G+2 then.
Okay, so in terms of cost of living, now this is for people who would be interested to move to this country. So in terms of cost of living, how does it compare? Like how much does someone need to comfortably live in this country per month?
Okay, so it depends on what kind of lifestyle everybody follows, but I'll just give you like the minimum one where you get to spend $200 on an apartment per month without electricity and water. And when it comes to like expenses, if you're mostly cooking food, you should be spending around 150, 120 per month if you're cooking. But if you're also eating outside, that's going to be a bit expensive. Maybe let's say around $400, $500 if you're just gonna eat outside. But roughly I can say you can live off $650 can make you live okay in Cambodia.
Can foreigners own property like a car? Can you buy a condo as a foreigner?
Right now you can buy a condo. That's why I told you earlier, like on investments, like it's good for investing, but you can only do it on condos. You can't buy land. Land has to be under a Khmer name as well. So you have to have 50% with the Khmer, with the local people. So condos it's okay, but lands are not okay. But again, owning a business and stuff, you can do it by yourself. You don't need any locals. I own this business by myself and I don't need any locals. As long as you pay the tax and you pay the fees, it's all good.
Can you buy a car? Can you own a car?
For sure you can.
Okay, and roughly how much do they cost here?
So car, let me give you I'm gonna give you a second hand. I'm not gonna tell you the new one. So second hand, let's say Toyota Corolla, the executive car, that one goes about $6,500, $7,000. So it's kind of really cheap out here.
Okay, so lastly, any parting shot, any word of advice that you would want to give to my viewers, and also you also shout out your restaurant and how people can communicate with you or how people can reach you.
So I can say first things first, like always work hard for something you really want to do, and trust me, the more you work hard, the more it's gonna be successful. And me, I've had a really hard time within this 3 years, but I never gave up. I kept on like pushing, and I made it here, and like I have this business. And this is we're located on Street 172 in Cambodia, Phnom Penh. It's close to Riverside, and anyone can search saying Addis Ethiopian restaurant, you can find us. And for my dear friend, you guys can always support her and give her much love. She's really doing a big job, and I respect her as an African. And peace to everyone, yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for watching that episode. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new. For me, this is very inspiring and really good to see Africans thriving in other continents. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the comment section below, and until next time, bye bye. See you on the next one.